Hello, Sanbonani. Welcome to Sangoma Society. This is where we aim to demystify a few things related to how we relate to our ancestors in our day-to-day lives. Makhosi Nomabutho, and I hope to be your guide on this journey. Thank you for joining me. So, today I'd like to address the topic of why some people wake up at 3 a.m. I get a lot of messages from people really concerned about Makhosi Nomabutho, 3 a.m. every day I'm awake. I feel like I'm not sleeping. My sleep feels interrupted. Why is this happening? What's going on? Well, basically, 3 a.m. is the time when the veil is thinnest between the realms. So if you could imagine the realm of the living and the ancestral realm, and there being a veil between us, the veil is not always of the same density, and essentially at 3 a.m. that is when the veil is thinnest. That is when it's easiest to make contact. And I know sometimes it feels like you're getting the most intense dreams at that moment, and then for some reason you're awake. There's clearly something happening at that moment in your life. You must be arriving at a point in your life where there is a higher realization that you need to come to, whether it's your higher self calling you towards your purpose, or you're being awakened to a deeper purpose to your life at that moment in time. There is no way to make it stop, as a lot of people have asked. I mean, if you think about it, there are some people who know about the teaching of praying at 3 a.m. if you want to know that your prayers will be answered, if you're fasting, if you're really going on a crusade, so to speak. People know that 3 a.m. there are people who know that 3 a.m. is a sacred time to be waking up and communing with spirit. So for instance, imagine that there might be someone out there who's fasting and praying and trying their damnedest to wake up at 3 a.m. They're setting an alarm, they're sleeping through it, perhaps. There are initiates in all schools of spirituality across cultures who know that this is a sacred time to wake up. And imagine now that poor initiate, whether it be Itwasana or some kind of monk, who is trying to wake up at 3 a.m. and struggling because that's when their bed is warmest, and you just want to get around that? Maybe it's just that you haven't got the perspective of what it is that's waking you up at 3 a.m. Consider for a moment that your higher self is knocking at your door and saying that this is the moment. It can't wait any longer. What would you do differently? Would you still consider that your sleep was being interrupted? Or would you look on this moment as being awakened to your purpose? The simplest thing that I could say for you to be able to get through it faster and getting to that person you used to be, who can hit the snooze button at 7 a.m. or 9 a.m., whatever it is that you would rather be doing than waking up at 3 a.m. I would say make space for this in your life. Build some ritual around it. Now you're like, okay, where do you start? Well, for starters, I would say build a practice into your life, whether you believe, whatever it may be that you believe, whether uyapahla, whether you pray in a Christian way, or whether you meditate in a less aligned way, whatever it is that brings you to your higher self and brings you to your highest vibration, I would say set aside that time to do it then, so that when you awaken at 3 a.m. you have that to look forward to, and it becomes the kickstart to your day. So if you say first thing in the morning, now you know that you're going to be up at 3 a.m. you're anticipating it. So when it happens, for starters, you've maybe gone to bed a little earlier than usual, maybe around 9 or 10, instead of binge watching something or reading your favorite book or scrolling social media until midnight. Rather go to sleep at around 9 or 10, so that when you wake up at 3 a.m. you're actually well rested. I would say wake up, actually get out of bed, go brush your teeth, wash your face, make sure that your eyelids touch water, and then give yourself that opportunity to engage with whatever ritual you would like to engage, whether it's lighting a candle and meditating, or ukhanyise kandlela lakho, uphahle, or just making yourself comfortable for a session of meditation. You know, I would suggest that you engage with that with deep sincerity, because it's an incredible time of day to be doing so. And then the next step I would say to follow that would be to journal. Whether it's a dream journal or you're just writing morning pages, it doesn't really matter, but the practice of putting what's on your heart onto paper by hand every day is quite invigorating. And especially if you're going to be keeping a dream journal and you feel that maybe this 3 a.m. awakening has got something higher to it, it's an amazing way to be able to say, maybe every Sunday afternoon you'll be able to review what it is that's been happening, what it means. You know, has there been a pattern to your dreams during that week? Has there been a certain sense you've woken up with every morning? Whatever it may be, really, I think it's key to documenting that process. So that's what I would say you should do. And then what happens then afterwards, if you only have to be at work at 9 a.m. and you're all done with this process by 4, and you really rather would just wake up at 7, you can go back to bed, you know? You can go back to bed and get that amazing 3-hour nap in, you know? Or if your day starts a little bit earlier and maybe you have to be at work at 6 or something, and then now you're all done by 4:30. Well, I'd say, you know, maybe give yourself a leisurely start to the day. Bath where you might shower, you know, have more time for yourself to be mindful about how you go into the day. Or even, you know, schedule in some exercise. It's incredible. It's an incredible daily practice to bring into your life, and it improves your quality of life, you know, 1,000-fold. So there's so much you can do with that time that can make it an invigorating experience. So I hope this answers why it is that you might find yourself waking up at 3 a.m. and you're like, okay, I hear you, but like, no. Okay, fine. It's not happening to me, it's happening to you. So consider this, it is not likely to stop, you know? It's not one of those things you can make go away. It happens, you know? It happens, and when it happens, it often has a deeper purpose in your life. There's often a deeper message that comes with waking up at 3 a.m. It's not just something you can get rid of with a sleeping tablet. So rather than try to go around it, try to go through it with as much purpose as you can muster, annoying as it might seem right now. I hope that answers that question. If there's something that I haven't addressed relating to waking up at 3 a.m. and why it might be happening to you right now, please pop your question in the comment section below. If this is your first time coming across this channel today, please subscribe. We're just here to unpack these things together. This is a journey I'd like to share with anybody who's curious to find out how we relate to the ancestors and how our greater purpose might be calling on our lives in small ways that we don't notice on a day-to-day basis. My name is Makwakwa, Makhosi Nomabutho Emsamo, and my social media handle is Honey Tell a Story on all platforms. Please engage, ask me anything, and let's go on this journey together. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for watching. Please share, like, subscribe, and see you again next time.